Kohls is not playing games. They are planning to open 850 Sephora beauty shops in their stores by 2023, with the goal of having 200 of them open by next fall. So stab in the back to JCPenney here. They're coming right after Target and Ulta, but I kind of don't hate this. I'm not a big Kohls or Sephora person. I saw the like little drops of the Sephora shops in the Kohls, and I think that this is actually like my mom and her friends would love this. Like they would definitely go get their makeup from Sephora at Kohls. So definitely not pulling in Gen Z in my opinion, but like my mom would be all over this.
Ma's loving this. My intern is loving this. And you've got a lot of thoughts on this. I know you do. What are you thinking?
I think
we haven't
this
talked
headline,
about this at all, so I'm dying to find out.
I think this headline is incorrectly written in that it should be Sephora is expanding to 1,100 locations throughout the next year. Because let's be real here, people. Sephora, separate entrances with banners, like this is not about Kohls. This is about their off-mall locations being valuable to the Sephora customer now, who Sephora's were a big mall store, and now they have all these locations in smaller places, off-mall locations. I think that this makes complete sense. I mean, Sephora got totally, like Emma said, they got totally hit a couple of weeks ago with the Target Ulta partnership. I think, you know, this takes their, 600 stores that they have now, a lot of those stores being in partnership with JCPenney's, several of which will be closing. And it really gets them in direct competition with their biggest competitor in the space, Ulta. I think, my question is just how long before Kohls buildings just turn into Amazon, Sephora, a gym, a grocery store, and a small section of Kohls home appliances? I mean, the only losers here, my grandma, who's going to go in there and be like, where's my Croft and Barrel sweater? I can only see makeup at Sephora. Chris, what do you think?
I think you saved it for me at the end. I love this. I think it makes a ton of sense. I think it's funny when you look back to the rumors when they were talking about pulling out. This must have, of JCPenney's, this must have already been in the works. Makes me also wonder what conversations were being, had with, other retailers, i.e. the ones that Ulta is now partnered with at the same time. Who the heck knows? I have no idea, but you have to think all this was going on. I think I'm starting to love Michelle Gass. I mean, I've been hard as heck on them in terms of what their value proposition is. And I don't necessarily think anything of that was wrong because Kohls doesn't have a value proposition, as we've talked about in our minds. But when you start realizing that and then taking actions that make your locations and presences relevant again, you can start to matter. And that's what they're doing. So they're putting Sephora in. I think, I'm calling it now, if in 2021 there's an Amazon Go inside of a Kohls, Michelle Gass is the 2021 retail CEO of the year because she's got something. I mean, that's a cocktail that's the equivalent in suburban strip malls of essentially a Walmart or a Target with some pretty darn good convenience aspects and some things that you can't find at those lower end retailers that are Target and Walmart. So I am loving this. I am buying this one hard, but she's got more to do. I think that's the thing. There's more work to be done. And you're still shaking your head. You're not buying.
I want to be careful. I mean, who gets the credit for this though? Like, yes, it's fine, but like, how much of this that was going to my earlier point with like, how much of this is Kohls, like as the department store? Maybe that's my like incorrect way of thinking about this, but I just feel like, so Kohls is now just like more of a real estate developer because they're bringing all these people in. And I mean, I guess they are like the Sephora associates will be Kohls employees trained in Sephora speak, depending on the Amazon station is staffed by Kohls staffers. So I guess it's just, it's thinking about reimagining the entire Kohls experience. I just think there's still, for me, a disconnect because there's still like this Kohls department store that's trying to like sit alongside these other concepts that are going in the store. I need a little bit more like synergy to make this like 100% something I'll get behind.
I hear what you're saying. It's cognitively dissonant because it seems like the outroad is to not be Kohls anymore.
Right.
But that's the beauty in accepting the fact that that's your outroad, and that's not what a lot of people are willing to do. And And there's a lot of people that would make the argument that retail is just a real estate game anyway. You know, you're renting the space to the brands that are on your shelf, so to speak. Depending on the cost structure, it's not a lease, you know, it runs different ways. But that's the part of this story for me too that we didn't hit on. And then we can move forward, I think, is that, man, this shows you the sorry state we have with malls. State we have with malls. Because like, no one wants to be there. And now we're just creating these micro malls. So like it says that there's just no value there anymore. What are they going to do?
Yeah. I mean, the last thing I'd say then is Michelle Gass, by all means, take some more credit for it. The earnings report that just came out was like, we've got $2 billion brands that we're selling out of Kohls, Sonoma, and, you know, these other brands. It's like, then take credit for this innovation that you're doing and get on. Like, they've
been taking a lot of credit for innovation before anything results. And this hasn't happened yet either. And all this stuff we're conjecturing on also hasn't happened. Like the fact that they're embedded with Amazon and she's probably sold her firstborn child to Amazon as well. Like none of that has been proven.
Cannot be confirmed
at this time. So we're hopeful, but yeah, still a long road to go. And God, we'll see, you know, who all comes in. And you're right. Emma's right too. Like, there's still a lot of rebranding that has to be done to get some of those younger generations into this. Just because you put it in there, even in Amazon Go, doesn't, you know, it's not Field of Dreams that people are going to get in there and start shopping it too.